Something happened on July 25, 2026 that no military analyst saw coming. A country fighting for its survival on the Eastern Front just opened a second war front thousands of miles away. Ukraine launched long-range drone strikes deep into the Caspian Sea and hit an Iranian cargo ship. One sailor is dead, Tehran is furious, and Moscow is in total shock. But here is what the mainstream media is not telling you. This was not a mistake. This was not an accident. This was a calculated and deliberate message sent by Kiev to both Iran and Russia at the same time. And that message just changed the entire map of this war. Let me explain why this single strike may be the most important military decision Ukraine has made in 3 years of war. For years, Russia has been running a secret weapons pipeline. It runs from Iranian factories through the Caspian Sea into Russian ports and then straight to the front lines in Ukraine. The weapons traveling through this corridor are not small arms. They are shahed drones, the same drones that have been hitting Ukrainian cities, hospitals, and power stations in the middle of winter. Every time a Ukrainian family woke up without electricity in January, there was an Iranian drone responsible for that darkness. Ukraine knew about this pipeline. The United States knew about it. Europe knew about it. But until July 25th, nobody had done anything to physically stop it. Zelensky changed that. On Saturday night, Ukrainian long-range drones flew hundreds of kilometers over the Caspian Sea and struck the Iranian cargo vessel Anna near Russia's Astrakhan port at the mouth of the Volga River. The ship caught fire. 1 Iranian sailor was killed. 3 others were wounded. The cargo? Drone and missile components heading from Iran to Russia. When Iran heard the news, the reaction was immediate and explosive. Tehran summoned Ukraine's diplomat and accused Kyiv of a hostile and criminal act. The Iranian foreign minister called his Russian counterpart. He called European officials. He posted warnings on social media. Iran threatened retaliation, but Ukraine did not back down, not for a single second. Ukraine's foreign minister responded directly. He said Iran's threats are unjustified and groundless. The regime in Tehran is a direct accomplice to Russian aggression against Ukraine. They have been fueling Moscow's criminal war with weapons that have killed Ukrainians since 2022. This is where the story gets truly shocking. Ukraine's ambassador to Israel said something that no diplomat had ever said publicly before. He told Israeli television that Ukraine and Israel are fighting the same axis of evil on 2 different fronts. Think about what that means. Ukraine just publicly declared that it sees Russia and Iran as one unified enemy. And by striking an Iranian ship, Ukraine just proved it is willing to fight that enemy on every front, not just in the trenches of Donbas. Now here is why Moscow is the most frightened capital in the world right now. Russia's entire military strategy in Ukraine depends on one thing: a steady supply of Iranian weapons. The shahed drones alone have changed the nature of the war. Russia cannot produce enough of its own drones to maintain the pressure it puts on Ukraine every single night. Without Iranian drones, the Russian air campaign against Ukrainian cities slows down dramatically. Ukraine has just shown it can reach the pipeline that feeds Russia's war machine, and Russia has no answer for this. The Caspian Sea was supposed to be Russia's safe zone. It is landlocked. No NATO navy can enter it. No American carrier group can reach it. Russia believed this route was completely protected. Ukraine just proved that belief was wrong. And this was not even the first time Ukraine had struck this corridor. In February, Ukraine hit Russian warships and 2 sanctioned cargo vessels in the same area. But this time was different. This time the ship had an Iranian flag. This time an Iranian sailor died. This time Ukraine crossed a line that no country had crossed before in this war. 2 wars that had been burning on opposite sides of the world just became one. So what happens next? Iran has 3 options. The first option is direct military retaliation against Ukraine, but experts say this is extremely unlikely. Iran is already fighting the United States and Israel. Opening a 3rd military front against Ukraine would be suicidal. The second option is indirect retaliation. Iran could send more weapons to Russia faster. It could launch cyber attacks against Ukrainian infrastructure. It could use its proxy networks in the Middle East to create pressure on Ukraine's Western supporters. The third option is the most dangerous one of all. Iran could formally and publicly deepen its military alliance with Russia, not behind closed doors, not through secret cargo ships in the Caspian Sea, but openly, officially, as declared military partners. If that happens, the entire architecture of global security changes overnight. But here's the detail that almost nobody is talking about. Ukraine made this strike at the exact same moment that the United States and Israel are in the middle of a 5-month war with Iran. Ukraine did not ask for permission. Ukraine did not coordinate this publicly. But the timing was not a coincidence. By striking Iran's weapons, Corridor Ukraine sent a message to Washington as well. A message that said Ukraine is not a passive recipient of Western aid. Ukraine is an active military partner that is willing to hit shared enemies in places where American forces cannot go. That is a powerful message, and it may have just unlocked new levels of American support that previously seemed impossible. The map of this war is no longer a straight line between Kiev and Moscow. It is a web that connects Ukraine, Russia, Iran, Israel, and the United States into a single interconnected conflict. And Ukraine just pulled one of the most important threads in that web. Russia thought the Caspian Sea was safe. Russia was wrong, and Moscow knows it.